So here is the photo that I want to show you guys how to edit. Pretty much I use Lightroom. I base my presets off of a VSCO film '06. I do have my own presets um, right here that I use for different occasions. But here is a photo that I took a day ago, and I'm going to show you guys how to edit this. So first I'd take my white balance and try to take the red and greens that you see and try to match them up as closely as possible. Right there, pretty much. Just makes everything nice and clean looking. But for this one, we're going to use push and pull VSCO film '06. And we're going to go to Portra 160 plus plus plus. This is going to get that fade technique that everybody's looking for. Well, if you're looking for it at least. And then I fine tune everything. So pretty much I just start from the top up. Click right here. Straighten it out if you want to use a 1x1 or 8x10 depending on what you're going to shoot for. But yeah, so pretty much I just use auto on here to straighten it out. It knows pretty much what it is, but if it doesn't, then adjust it. There's fine tune lines right here. That looks about good. So click enter. It'll adjust it for you. Then we'll go to the basics. So pretty much what I do here is I adjust the exposure first to see how dark I want the photo. An easy tip is to, I think it's click shift command and then plus. Yeah, that way you can activate the decrease in, and you just click minus and plus. It's pretty much just a shortcut. So, and then you can fine tune it the way you want. That looks about good. So that's pretty good. That's an easy tool that I use. Contrast, I never use that. Highlights, just hover over it with your mouse and then click the arrow keys. Oh, not that. Click the arrow keys up and down. So, and then it will fine tune it the way you want. And then shadows, I bring it down just a tad, about -10 for this. Well, everything looks pretty good right now. Whites, I want to kind of get like the the blanket a little bit more apparent in the picture. Just bring it out just a tad. Blacks, I double click it and go to 0. That way I can see what it's doing. I like it right about there. Clarity, this is something I do to make my photos look a little bit softer. I go to about -10. It just, it makes it a little bit softer. This one I shot at ISO 320, so if you want to see that information, just click I. Vibrance, saturation, and pretty much leave alone. So then after that I go to HSL, hue, saturation, and luminance. Mess around with there. Just mess around with the colors, see what you like. I like the super earthy green tones, so I'd bring it about right there. Many people don't know this, but if you want to target just a certain color, click click this button right here, and then like you just click on the green trees, and then you can decrease it just like the way you want, or just like that. And then saturation, a little bit with the greens right there. As well as luminance, all this stuff is just your personal preference. If you want to make it darker, lighter, make it a little bit lighter right there. And I'm always going back and forth pretty much. The more you do this, you'll get faster and get better. Split tuning is pretty big. I got my presets right here. So I mean, you just gotta play around with it. For shadows, you click this, or what's really cool is if you click this and go right to left, so you don't mess with, so instead of like clicking every individual color like this, it's just easier to click this and fine tune it that way. As well as highlights, click right here, same thing, just whatever color highlights you want. And then balances, if you want your shadows to be more apparent, or you want your highlights to be more apparent, what color you want. In this case, I'd probably bring it down about right here. Detail. This is another trick that I learned from myself just playing around in Lightroom. You see all this noise up here? Go to detail and then go to noise reduction and luminance, and I bring about 20. It's just gonna make it like look a lot smoother for you. I do this a bunch in portraits. Now it's lagging on me. Lens corrections, just I mean, I use a Sony 24 to 70 millimeter. You set it up, it's going to take that warp out. Effects, you can use grain if you want to. I usually use 20, 30, and then 80. And that does pretty good for me. When I post on my website and on Instagram, I can still see the grain. Let's see, what else can I show you guys? Pretty much, if let's see, I don't like that green a little bit. I want to tone it down just a little bit more. Then the last thing I do, because I got everything correct, I mess around with the temperature. If I want it a little bit warmer, you can do that. As well as if you keep your mouse there, you can fine tune it. If you click shift and then arrow keys up and down, it's going to go by 200. So that's lagging on me a little bit more. Sorry about that. I don't know if it's on your guys' end or not, but it is on mine. So if you click the backslash button, you can see your before and after. Alright, there we go. So before and after. It's looking okay. This is just super quick. I mean, I would do a little bit more to it, but this is just to give you the basics, so that way you guys can edit. If you guys like my edits and stuff, and if you wanted to see how I edit and everything, I mean, there's not much to it. I usually take, well, now since I have my own presets, I usually just click it, and it takes about 30 seconds. Then once I'm done with a photo, I click the F button, and it brings it in full mode. And that way I can view what it's going to look like on a website, and see, you know, the good grain on it, if it has nice highlights, everything else. And then click F again, it comes back. But yeah, it's just all, I mean, I learned all these tricks just, you know, messing around with Lightroom. I mean, just going in there and messing around with it. So hopefully you guys learned something. There's not much to this. Oh, other than, let's see, other than exporting, I'll export. This is what my export looks like. Pretty much I'll just leave it. I'll just, you know, put my, well, right there it says desktop and then new shit. Just a bunch of stuff I'd put in there. But you know, quality 100%. But I do use long edge and 2000 pixels. When you don't want to upload onto Instagram full resolution, because I mean, you're gonna have big files, but like, it's not gonna be as good as you want when you upload on full res. So if you make it 2000 long edge, you can still see, you know, that nice grain, and you're not gonna lose colors. I did when I used to, like, because the way I do it is from my DSLR to my computer, and then I airdrop it to my phone. And I've noticed once I did airdrop it without making it long edge, it pretty much, I don't know, desaturated colors, and it didn't look right. I always put everything on 300 resolution, and then just export it. So yeah, I mean, hopefully you guys learned something. I mean, I'm sure you guys are like, you know, why am I telling you guys this? Like, that's a big secret or whatever to photographers, but no, not really, because you guys still have wisdom and, you know, an eye for photography to get these types of shots and stuff. So I'm just showing you guys what I know, and hopefully you guys learned something. But you guys can get the VSCO film pack, the 06. I think you can get it on their website. I'll put a link on the bottom, for like $118. It sucks because you're probably, if you like this style, you're just only going to use, you know, you're only going to use one, but I guess that's just how it goes. But yeah, and then that's how pretty much what it looks like at the end. Cool. Okay, and that is how I pretty much edit all my photos. It varies. Sometimes I use different presets that I've made by myself. I rarely put stuff in Photoshop to fix it up like that. Everything's done in Lightroom. I found out that the less time I take on a photo, the better, just because I'm not overthinking it or anything like that. So hopefully you learned something.